The one and only Dr Joanna McMillan is joining us today. She's just brought out the most magnificent book, The Fibre Factor, and we're going to be doing one of the recipes from the book.
We are, yes. Thank you for having me on, Taz.
Always a pleasure.
Just as well, I'm the one and only.
You are the one and only.
More than one of me would be too much.
Well, you are a wealth of knowledge and fibre. We should be eating more fibre.
We absolutely should be eating more fibre. We're falling short, not just in the total amount of fibre that we have, but in the diversity of fibre types.
All right, what are we making?
We are going to make a sort of chicken jambalaya, but I'm going to use one of my favourite ingredients, and that is black rice.
Okay.
Have you experimented with this?
Honestly, I have not, so I'm very interested to see how this tastes. And is there more fibre in this type of rice as opposed to white rice?
Absolutely. So white rice, you can actually increase the fibre a little bit with something called resistant starch, and that's if you cook and cool it. So even if you then reheat it, that's a really good idea to do that. But this is a whole grain rice. So we've got the fibre that's naturally present in the outer husk of the grain. That's why it's going to take a little longer to cook, but it also means it's not quite as gluggy as lots of white rices. And that wonderful colour are actually a group of compounds called polyphenols. And it's that teamwork of polyphenols with fibre that seems to be so important for your gut microbiome, and then all of these knock-on effects that we get when we have a really fibre-rich diet.
See, I told you she was a wealth of knowledge. So I'm just chopping up an onion. This will go in after your chicken.
So I've got some really nice chicken thigh here, which I always think works better than breast.
Yeah, especially if you're cooking it for a while.
Yeah, really keeps its flavour a lot more. And I'm just sautéing that in some extra virgin olive oil. Yep. We've also got lots happening here with the veggies, and that's really what you want, this mixing of whole grains, legumes, which we're also going to put right in the end into this dish with some black beans. We've got veggies, we've got fruits, nuts and seeds. So if you're eating across that broad range of plant foods, basically, then you're getting that lovely diversity of fibre types, but also things like the polyphenols and the other, what we call phytonutrients, which are all those things like vitamins, minerals, but antioxidants, anti-inflammatory compounds, all the good stuff that we get from plant foods.
Absolutely. And when you were researching this book, you didn't only want to make it the text, but also adding loads of recipes in there so people can actually implement it in their cooking every day.
Yeah, I sort of say early on in the book, I do go through how fibre influences your gut, your brain, your detox pathways, your inflammation, your heart health. But then at the end of it, I say, you know, you can jump right to the kitchen, meet me in the kitchen. I'll give you loads of practical tips for how to get all of those plant foods into your day. So it includes recipes, meal ideas, all that sort of stuff. Yeah.
Fantastic. It's a great read, guys. All right.
So we've just browned off our chicken a little bit. I'm going to take it out of the pan, and then we're basically going to do the same thing into the same pan with our veggies.
Right. We all love a one-pan wonder because less washing up.
Exactly.
All right, in they go.
All right, in they go. Go for it.
There we go.
We're just going to saute up those veggies for 2 or 3 minutes, just until they're softened. And Juz, if you could just chop the garlic for me. And then I've got some paprika, some thyme, and some cayenne pepper, which gives it just that bit of a kick. This is kind of deep south, Louisiana-style spice mixes.
It's such bold flavours coming from the South America, isn't it?
Yeah, I do love this kind of cuisine. Hearty. So those are nicely browned. You can really smell the spices. And in we go with this gorgeous black rice.
The black rice, does it absorb more water than your regular rice? Do you need to add more stock or water?
Not necessarily more, but it will take a little longer. I would keep an eye on this. We are going to add, we can add our liquid now. So I've got a chicken stock and some canned tomatoes. And this is going to simmer for about 30 minutes. So just keep an eye on it, check the liquid levels, and you can add more stock or just add some water if you feel like it is drying out. One of the good things about this dish is you really can't go too wrong. And it's not like baking that has to have an exact time of cooking. The longer you're cooking, the more the flavours just develop.
Okay, tiny bit of salt.
So a wee bit of salt. I'm going to put in some pepper.
You didn't add too much salt there because depending on the stocks, it already could be seasoned.
I like to add just a touch of salt and then wait. Taste it at the end. And then in goes the chicken back into the pan along with any juices that have collected in that bowl. Thank you. Give it a bit of a stir, and then we're going to pop the lid on, bring that to a simmer, let it cook for about 30 minutes or so until almost all of that liquid's been absorbed, and then we can come back and finish off the dish.
Fantastic. fantastic in here.
Oh, I just love this dish. Look at that, lovely colours. It's really beautifully coming together, which is just what we want. And this is when I'm going to add my greens. So I've used silver beet, but you could use kale, you could just use baby spinach, really any kind of green. You could even put broccoli or anything in here, whatever you've got.
What have we got here?
Oh, these are just canned black beans.
I could just snack on them.
They are my favourite. I put them into smoothies. I mean, honestly, I use black beans in so many things. Go for it.
Yeah.
They are, that same colour as the black rice is actually coming from those polyphenols again.
Yep.
So we've got that lovely kind of purpley black in there.
Yep.
But they're also just so delicious.
They're so good.
Yeah. And then lastly, just a little squeeze of lemon, just to give that lift of the flavour right at the end. I'm a bit of a citrus fan, you'll pick up from my cooking.
It's something that I do need to grow because I use that much.
Okay, that looks ready. Beautiful.
And I've noticed you didn't cook that for long with the silver beet, just leaving that bright colour in there.
I like it to, look really green. I mean, this will last for a few days in your fridge, and honestly, some of it's just better. The taste just evolves. Yeah. But it is lovely to just wilt your greens through at the last minute. So if you do keep it a few days, just add some more greens right at the end, and then you'll get that vibrant colour, and it's just wilted through the dish. You can see I'm trying to do this really carefully and actually just making what we call in Scotland a guddle. It's a guddle. And there we go. It's a one-pot black rice and chicken jambalaya.
I'm looking forward to trying this. And the rice. I love that, Jo. So hearty.
What do you think of the black rice?
I think that's what really makes this unique, because we've had jambalaya with your regular rice, but this rice is something that I'm going to have in my pantry now because it is delicious, it's nutty, and most importantly, it's the texture. It's slightly chewy. I love this recipe, and to know that it is full of fibre.
It is indeed. This is a fibre feast.
A fibre feast from the Fibre Factor book. Jo, thank you.
Thank you.